Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As today, I'll be presenting the interview I had with the Sologenic CEO Bob Ross. But before I get started, I have to say a couple of things first, because unfortunately, there has been plenty of controversy going around when it comes to the Sologenic project. And in my personal opinion, I think it's unfounded. Recently, Sologenic announced a powerful airdrop by the name of Core for Sologenic holders, and this first snapshot is going to happen between December 24th to December 31st. Coreum is the name of this project, and unfortunately, plenty of people took this as if Sologenic was going to leave the XRP ledger. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Ross has gone on Twitter and said explicitly that is not what's happening. And unfortunately, plenty of FUD and misinformation has been spread. Yesterday, when I first met him and the team, they were very frustrated, as you could all imagine. Imagine you've been working in the background for a new piece of technology that is supposed to help your core technology improve, and what you plan to do is airdrop that for the community, give away more tokens for free, and that's going to help the entire ecosystem rise together. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a genuine question for all of you. What do you expect these crypto entrepreneurs to do? They literally are working hard in the background to create new technologies to try and improve an entire ecosystem, build out a community, and as a reward for building out a community, we're getting free tokens. I do not understand where the FUD is coming from and why all this misinformation is getting spread. Ladies and gentlemen, I remember quite vividly actually, the XRP community recently got a Songbird airdrop. That was an airdrop for Spark holders. Why was there not FUD around that? I'm just curious to know. Why was there not misinformation for that? Now, of course, apples and oranges, I understand. They're not the same thing. But this is the point I'm trying to make. Songbird was necessary to ensure that the Flare and Spark ecosystem grew correctly, and Coreum, this Coreum airdrop for Sologenic holders, is going to be important for the growth of the Sologenic ecosystem. Now, let me make this clear. I'm not here to show you or convince you of Sologenic in any way, shape, or form. I'm not incentivized to do anything to promote this project. I am a curious XRP investor that will be receiving free Sologenic tokens due to my XRP holdings and my smaller Sologenic holdings. But what I'll say is this. As an entrepreneur, I feel for the Sologenic team during this recent little blip that's been occurring on social media. Because from my first impressions, they seem like pretty genuine people, and they address a lot of the controversy going around in the community in the interview I'm about to present you. Ladies and gentlemen, all I ask all of you is that you learn with open minds and give this team the opportunity to defend themselves, because we are in fact getting free money from them due to the fact that they're airdropping us their tokens. That's important to note. And I'm sure they saw what happened with Songbird and the X5 snapshot. Coreum, this airdrop incentivizes holders to want to hold Sologenic a little longer. I'm not looking to sell my solo, not all of it, right away. Of course, I'm going to cash in on some bank money, maybe like 20% here or there, but that's to be expected. Come on, guys. But in all seriousness, because I had a discussion with this team and learned more about this project, I do believe that if they can accomplish the vision and get some things integrated, they will be a force to be reckoned with. They have to prove themselves. There is still work to be done, but considering we're getting these tokens for free for the most part, it's minimal to no risk with a high potential upside. Give this team and project a chance to defend themselves, and I think your opinions might change after you listen to them. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can get a sentiment shift in the lead up to this airdrop before it's all said and done, as I still think it's going to be one of the most explosive ones us XRP holders will ever have. Now, without further ado, guys, please listen to the Sologenic CEO.
Hello, 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 everyone from across the world and our precious VIPs. We have a very, very special guest. We have Bob from Sologenic as well as Fabio in the highly anticipated Sologenic airdrop for this XRP community. In my opinion, one of the biggest airdrops we're ever going to receive. Bob, hello, my friend. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your project before we got started, as I'm very excited?
Absolutely. First of all, thanks for having us, Bearable and Jordan.
Hmm.
It's thank you for the opportunity here. And before I start, I would like to, clarify. I have a little bit of cold, so in case if my voice is a little bit sound weird, I do apologize.
Trust
I
me,
try.
no worries, man. My voice sounds very weird. Everyone's used to it.
This is true.
Yes. So what was the question?
Just to tell the audience a little bit about yourself and just the Sologenic project, just a brief overview, and then we'll power through.
Perfect. Yeah, so my name is Bob Rass, as one of the co-founders of Sologenic, and recently we announced a new technology, a new layer one blockchain, which is called Coreum. It's been announced less than 24 hours ago. And yeah, so I'm happy to be here today. I understand that perhaps community, they having a lot of questions, and that's exactly what the intention of this session is.
Without a doubt. And thank you for being here and taking the time out. As I know you guys, you were talking earlier, you have plenty of developments happening in the background. You just launched this new technology yesterday, and we will be getting right to that, as plenty of the community has some questions that they want answered. But first things first, we have this massive airdrop for this for the XRP community and for Sologenic holders coming on the 24th. And I just want to ask a couple questions that I've gotten from people just about that specifically. So first, the biggest concern with individuals is trust lines. Can we trust them? Can we trust these trust lines, and what goes into as far as the security? Can you just define that for some people that may have some reservations about it?
Yeah, trust lines are actually a feature. It's one of the cool features on the XRP ledger. So the way that trust lines are safe, super safe. So the way that trust line works, you basically allow the issue, the issuer address or the gateway. You send a request to the issuer gateway, and the issuer gateway allows you to hold and trade that specific IOU, which is, in the other word, it's called XRPL tokens, right?
Yeah.
So that's exactly what it is. And it is safe. There is no safety issue with that. It's a feature of XRP Ledger, and it's been around forever.
Excellent. Thank you. Now, for everyone in the audience, he just said the trust lines are safe, so you can feel confident that you're not going to have something bad happen if you do set up your solo trust line. That's the first concern of that everyone was curious about. Now, we in the XRP community saw an initial ratio as far as the distribution of tokens as 0.2 solo for XRP. Recently, you have made an announcement that it's closer to like 0.01 solo for XRP, if I'm not mistaken. What do you expect the final distribution kind of to look like, just roughly?
Yes, that's a great question. We haven't ran any new snapshot test at this moment.
Mhm.
But since the last time that we did a snapshot, I think there are more XRP are going to be claimed, frankly, because right now there are huge, a few bigger exchanges like Binance are going to participate. There are actually many other exchanges that they have contacted us, and perhaps we're just gonna announce all these exchanges one after each other today. They are a lot of exchanges.
Mhm.
Uh, the ratio is going to change,
Mhm.
definitely.
Yes.
But with what happened with Sologenic yesterday, so I assume that the ratio
Yes.
is going to be changed for Sologenic as well.
Mhm.
As all of us we know, there has been some sort of sell-off yesterday, unfortunately.
Mhm.
So, but we haven't really ran a new snapshot. But
Yes.
perhaps we are going to do that. Maybe if we get a chance, the team is super busy at this moment. But if we get a chance, perhaps we can run a new test today and let the community know.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, something that I'm curious to know about is when it comes to that the Sologenic platform, can
Mhm.
we do direct crypto to stock or ETF or commodity trades on this platform in the future? Because I first got I first got directed to your project, I thought,
Mhm.
damn, that's a monstrosity of a use case. Can you explain a little more to people that may be wondering what exactly Solo
Yeah.
is?
Yeah. So if you go to sologenic.com, the test net is actually live. It's been around for more than a year, I would say.
Mhm.
And if you just, yeah, I can see that you are doing it right now. So if you just click on tokenize assets right there, yes, you just create an account. You don't have, basically it's a test net, right? So you just put an email address and a password. There is no KYC at this moment because it's a test net. So
Mhm.
what's going to happen, the system will give you some practice funds, which there are Bitcoin, XRP, and US dollars. So the Bitcoin and XRP, they are issued under testnet. So these are not real. So don't get excited. But you can just trade them. You can actually convert them with the stock. So at this moment, the system is connected, is receiving the data from NASDAQ and NYSE. This is the live data.
Okay.
So the prices, for example, for any stocks that you are searching, you get the real price, the live price, right?
Mhm.
And then you can actually convert your holdings, let's say XRP, directly to, let's say, Tesla on
Mhm.
the testnet. And then you can go through the tokenization process. The system will show you all the steps one by one. And
Mhm.
the tokenized stock is actually are being issued on the XRP ledger testnet,
Mhm.
right? And are
Yeah.
traceable. So the system will provide you with the link, with the transaction link, which you can actually verify that. You can see that you literally tokenize your very first stock on the XRP ledger testnet.
Wow.
So
So
we're just waiting for the license, broker dealer license. I'm sure
mhm.
that's perhaps one of your questions, which I'm happy to elaborate
Yes,
a little bit more on that further.
please. And can you go into that just a little more? And
Yeah.
also along those lines, can you also state what institutions you expect to come on board in the future? And are there any that you can mention now? I might be poking around a little too much, Bob, but this is what I do.
I like that. You do your job. Uh, in terms of the broker dealer license, we applied. We submitted our application to FSA, which is in European Union, twice.
Yes.
The first time that they sent them, they had obviously some objections, right? And they asked us, if we can overcome those objections, which, we hired some risk officers, chief risk officers. We hired some other financial experts, right? Just to
Mhm.
put together a new proposal somehow that, these regulators, they can understand it, right?
Mhm.
So submitted a second application So second application, they were happy, they're happy with everything. The only thing that they having a hard time to understand is they do not understand how a decentralized exchange, how XRPL DEX is going to work out. They're having a hard time to understand that there is no party behind it. And they keep asking this question that, oh, you need to put regulation on the DEX. And then our answer is how? How do you want us to put regulations on the DEX? And they're saying someone should be able to do it. Say no, it's a DEX. So that's
Yeah, that's the issue. So
yeah.
so it's kind of, for me, this is an issue that XRP is kind of going through. It's like a chicken and egg scenario. It's like the technology wants to launch, but then we need regulation to have the technology launch. But then institutions and projects, they want to be compliant, but then the regulators don't know how the hell to make things compliant. So it's like, what the hell's going on, right? So it's very frustrating, I can imagine.
So this is how we are going to tackle this, right? We want to launch this. There's no way that we don't launch. We want to launch it, whatever it takes, right?
Yeah.
And because that's the whole use case. This is the most use case of Sologenic, right? And we are going to launch that. So the way that we are going to tackle this perhaps is we have two options. Option number one is we go and acquire a broker dealer in one of the jurisdictions outside of Europe or US, right?
Interesting.
And launch the project, in a pilot, as a pilot in some countries outside of Europe and US, right? And obviously Canada as well.
Yes.
Let it, be around for a few months or I don't know, a year. So, and then we go back to these regulators again and say, hey, this has been around, this has been already launched as a pilot in these jurisdictions, right?
Yes.
And look, everything is going fine. Nobody is going to abuse the system. You know what I mean? Just giving an example, a real working product, not a test net, because on the test net, they're not really convinced with the test net, right? So I think this is one way. This is an idea that we have, and and basically that's going to be the plan. But at the same time, we are looking at the few other options. For example, we've been in touch with a few companies inside US that those companies are third party owned. So maybe we can just launch a service inside US with a third party. So third party will be in charge of the customer onboarding. That investment firm is going to be in charge of the custody of customers' assets, right? And we don't touch it, right? And we just take care of the technology. So this is another option. But end of a story is going to happen. And since I brought up this topic, I would like to clarify some points. There are actually two different teams are working on Sologenic.
Yes.
So one team is Sologenic ORG, which Sologenic ORG is the main team. They are in charge of the Sologenic ecosystem. These are, a team of developers, open source developers that they have been building, on the XRP ledger and other blockchain. So this is a team that they have created. So the whole Sologenic ecosystem, this is the team that they have maintaining, the whole Sologenic ecosystem. And then we have Sologenic.com. With Sologenic.com is just a use case of Sologenic technology, right? So in another word, it's like Ripple created a use case for XRP. So Ripple is basically a company, XRP and XRP Ledger is a network, right? So this is exactly the same way. And even when we go live with Sologenic.com services, I'm not going to be part of that. I'm not going to be running that business. I'm not going to be, be executive or on the board, right? I just don't like it. I just want to focus on technology, have my own freedom, and build cool, stuff.
Understood. And before we continue on anything else, I want to point out to the audience that with me, I love utility coins. You yourself, you're describing how you're looking to be compliant. You're looking to have a use case with the ecosystem. You have your minimum viable product already. Like we have this test net ready to go. We can see the price feeds from the NASDAQ and the stock exchange already. So it's something that's here. It has things available already, and it's looking to sustain itself into the future. And these are important criterias that I looked for investing in tokens, just in
Mm.
general. But we fortunately we got plenty of these tokens for free. Right now, we're gonna get into something very quickly, Bob, that I know we talked about a little earlier that we're a little frustrated about. Now, I'm gonna get into one question and then lead it into the next one. So, us XRP holders, we've been fortunate enough to, on top of XRP, have numerous airdrops, and it's essentially free money from the heavens for holding XRP. We've seen XRP suppress for years, and now we finally got some profits in the form of free tokens.
Yes.
First it was Songbird, right? Songbird was the first big airdrop that we were able to receive. And there was a snapshot on top of Songbird. A little over a week ago. Unfortunately, the price of Songbird tanked right after. I don't understand why, because I really like that project. It's going to do very well, but people sold it off. Now, yesterday, unfortunately, the price of Solo tanked after you made a massive announcement. I still don't understand why. Um, I'm gonna get into that in 1 second. But as far as the price history of Sologenic is concerned, I've seen some explosive things happening with this project. Recently, Solo's price rose from the ashes from 6 cents all the way up to like $6. Well, what was going on behind the scenes that caused that monstrosity of a move to
Yeah.
happen? Just out of curiosity.
I've been very transparent with the community. I actually tweeted about that, right? I still gonna say the same thing.
Mhm,
First of all, when it was dumped to 6 cents, we were
mhm,
not behind that.
mhm. Okay.
This is the official statement. You can take me to the court if you want. We
Okay.
have not sold or dumped any solo tokens, when it
Mhm,
got dumped to 6 cents, right? Absolutely not. The
mhm,
reason that they got, the price went down, we were actually monitoring it. So when we had an exchange, Coinfield, right? So that exchange, obviously, on the balance sheet of that exchange, there was some significant amount of solo tokens, right? Because the exchange that was, our own exchange, and it was in charge of, it gave us some support, creating with the development, with the marketing, with many different aspects, right? But
mhm,
those tokens, it was on their balance sheet, and when that company was acquired, we couldn't just take it off the balance sheet, right? So we
mhm,
had to, that company was acquired with the assets, right?
mhm. Yes.
And the new ownership group, unfortunately, they decided to dump
Mm,
Solo because they were trying to launch their own exchange token, which is understandable. I have no problem with that, right?
mhm,
And it was their own decision, but they dump it. But I think it wasn't really a wise
mhm.
decision, right? They could at least, sell it eventually, not to hurt the market and not
Yeah.
to hurt their own
Mhm.
holdings, right? So literally they were dumping, a big amount of Solo, about 21 million units of Solo
Yes.
at some numbers around 5, 6 cents.
Mhm,
But the way that I look at it is it was actually a great test, right?
mhm.
We got back up. It means
Yes.
that people are supporting the project,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
And it was actually a great stress test.
Yes.
And yeah, so that's exactly what happened.
And fortunately for everyone, it went up 100x in 4 weeks. So I know you guys are happy. That was powerful. That was literally a very powerful thing. I'm like, damn, I wish I would have gotten in at 6 cents. I was lucky enough to get in at 40, but that 6 cents was powerful without a doubt. But it along those lines, let's talk a little bit more about price, because the price has kind of been a reflection of some news that broke yesterday. So yesterday, unfortunately, we saw the price tank about like 35%. on the news of you announced new technology that was being built on top or Solo or to help a
Yeah,
company,
Coreum.
Sologenic, Coreum. Can you
Yeah,
go into that and kind of let the audience know, there has been some misinformation
I
discussed about this?
thanks
Because
for thanks for the opportunity. I couldn't wait further to talk about this, right?
without a doubt, yes, because I know it was frustrating for you, because to me this looks like an opportunity for the Solo token to maintain its value, right? So please clear
Yeah.
this up.
See, first of all, we don't want to get involved in the price fluctuations, right?
Of course,
Let's
of course.
put that aside. But we are involved in the project. We are involved in what the community, how the community is treating us and and the whole ecosystem, right? So
Yes.
we have announced a hell of a technology,
Mhm.
which technically it's resolving all the weaknesses, problems, of the current blockchains available, existing blockchains, right? I don't want to say the existing blockchains are bad or good,
Mhm.
right? But this is technology. Every year, the technology is moving forward, right? So if you're not
Mhm.
with, if you don't go with the flow, you're going to, stay behind. That's how everything works, right? And it's actually a great thing, to go with the flow. It's actually, it's acceptable, to improve your ecosystem and provide better technology to the community members. So
Mhm.
Coreum ecosystem blockchain, it's a layer one smart blockchain with super low transaction fee and super fast speed, right?
Mhm.
And this technology we have been working on for over a year right now,
Yes.
and we announced it, but unfortunately we got like a lot of confusion, and we got mixed uh, emotions, and vibes and reactions from the community member. There have been a lot of confusion, like some of the reaction that I've seen. Are you guys going to ditch Solo? No, we're not going to ditch Solo. The only reason that we have created Coreum, if you guys go spend a little bit of time, read the blueprints, read the document, there is a 25, 30 pages document. Just go through it, read it over, right?
And 1 second, Jordan, can you just bring that up on the screen so people can get a visual? Go ahead, Bob. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you can see that we actually put some features there. We have designed some specific features for tokenizing securities, which
Mhm.
that's what Sologenic is doing right now, right? So that means that uh, instead of, okay, right now we had a few options. Option number one was, okay, if we want to launch some DeFi, products, for Solo and tokenized asset in the future, we had to go adopt, and do integration with some third-party solutions, which in that case, it would just limit the whole ecosystem, right? When you are using third-party solution, you get limit, right? There's no question about that. So instead of doing that, we decided to create a layer one blockchain, which
Mhm.
actually is designed for Sologenic ecosystem,
Mhm.
right? So that's for the sake of Sologenic to be successful and launch more DeFi products. Like, once we get the license, once we launch tokenized stocks, we're going to be launching a lot of DeFi products for the tokenized stocks,
Mhm. Yes.
right? Which it's too early to talk about it. So, and the other questions, are you guys going to go away from XRP Ledger? Everything, whatever we have built, it was built on the XRP Ledger. So
Yes.
XRP Ledger is going to be our forever home.
Mhm.
We're not going to be moving, moving away from XRP Ledger.
Mhm.
The DeFi aspects of Sologenic is going to be moved and offered on Coreum network, because XRP Ledger at this point, it doesn't support the smart contract functionality, which is very important, for DeFi when it comes to DeFi, right?
Yes.
So, but all the components, all the services of Sologenic is going to stay on XRP Ledger. We have a DEX right now. we are launching our NFT marketplace on XRP Ledger. Literally, the NFT marketplace is being completed. We are in the testing period right now, and we may just go live any day. We say we're gonna have a surprise launch. We're gonna launch it. We're still gonna do a surprise launch. So all of this have been built on the XRP Ledger. So no, we're not ditching Solo tokens. We're not moving away from XRP Ledger, right? I think that there are two type of. Sorry if I speak it, so much, but
no worries, no worries. That's what you're here for.
Yeah. But there are two type of, because I got super, super disappointed. Not only myself, the whole team here. We spent a lot of time on this project. It wasn't really fair, to come up with all those tweets and create a lot of confusion, for
And
the community.
here's what I'll say about that, Bob. Something that you'll learn about my channel very quickly is that most of my audience is very rational minded and grounded when it comes to these things, because unfortunately what happens is that on Twitter people degenerate in the comment section. It's usually a lot of people that probably don't even have too much invested in on the line here. By the way, we're getting Sologenic for free, guys. I don't know if you knew that, but it's usually a lot of people that are, they don't read the documents and the articles and the paperwork. Immediately when I saw what you guys were doing, I'm like, okay, they're created another token to help with the speed and the longevity of the Sologenic ecosystem. And it's clearly, they never said they're moving away from XRP. So when I saw all the hoopla and then the price action, I was really shocked, because what it's doing, it's incentivizing us to hold Solo, because the way this is an airdrop on top of Sologenic, correct? And it's a prolonged airdrop. So we continuously I believe it's over a couple months, we got these tokens received to us, right? If
I
I'm not
will
mistaken.
explain that. Yes, I will definitely explain it. But quite frankly, that this is how exactly happened. Whatever you see that happened to the market is exactly because of what happened. We have done our own due diligence on that, right? There were two reasons. Reasons number one, some people created confusion without even doing some research on the new Coreum technology. So it was whatever they tweeted, it was just assumption, right? Yes. And unfortunately, the average Joe believes whatever he sees, right?
Yes.
So he doesn't do research either, right? And a panic was created. People, they were saying, oh, so they're ditching Solo. Solo is done. Solo is done. Come on. Like why?
I understand.
So
but
silly.
this is why today's interview is important, because we get to clear up that misinformation, and we have the CEO here, guys, clearing it up for all of you. And something I have to say is that Solo is an important project for the XRP ecosystem as a whole. Like, I'm looking, like, of course we're getting some tokens for free, and that's great, and people probably want to take some profits, but I'm looking to hold this into the future, because I think you guys have something powerful going on here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. If there is no Solo, there is no Coreum, right? So Coreum is being built by Sologenic team. So Coreum is a community-based project. Quite frankly, I make it very, very quick. So we could just launch. This is actually what happened with our team members. We actually thought about this today and last night. We say, you know what? Right now that we're having such a bad vibe from some Solo holders and XRP holders, right? How about we just cancel the Coreum airdrop? Because we can easily, separate Coreum from Sologenic.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the bull saving everyone's airdrop right now, Bob. I think after this interview, people they'll get their facts correct, and I still think the airdrop should still happen. Tell your team at home that El Toro Loco's clearing everything up. I am clearing everything up now, because I want my Coreum tokens.
People, they need to understand that Coreum is a fast layer one modern layer one blockchain, right?
Yes,
I don't want
yes,
to give you, don't, this is not a financial advice. This is not, I'm not trying to shield the token because first
yes,
of all, there's no token sale, right? We,
yes,
we,
yes.
we wanted to keep this as organic, without any commercial aspect, attached to it, right? So it's 100% community based. The 70% of the total supply is going to either be airdropped to the community, or
Mhm.
they're going to be used for the validator incentives or developers. Whoever comes and build, DeFi apps on Coreum, they get paid. They get grants, right? So we are giving away to 70%. The other 30% is gonna stay, within the foundation and covering teams.
Yes.
Obviously, we have developers maintaining the network, and so far, Sologenic has funded Coreum Foundation to launch this project, right? Like
Yes.
in terms of the injection of funding, the Sologenic has done that. But maybe because we don't have a token sale, maybe I don't know, a few months from now, we feel that okay, Coreum needs to raise some funds, right? In that
Mhm.
case, we only sell a portion of that 30% to the accredited investors, not to the retail or public, only to the accredited investors. That means that to uh, investment firms,
Mhm.
VCs, right? And obviously for those guys, they're going to be a vesting period
Mhm.
implemented.
Mhm.
But
No.
end of the day, if you have XRP, you get Solo tokens, airdrop.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then if you have Solo, you get Coreum, right?
Yes. Very
So
nice. Without a doubt.
I
And
mean, what's wrong with that? Why are you not happy?
absolutely nothing, Bob. And I'm making sure you know this after this video does get posted. I think you're gonna see a complete 180-degree shift in the sentiment, as Twitter, I've learned, isn't the best medium of exchange for information because it's limited characters. So that's what I'll say. We're clearing things up as we speak. Please don't cancel the airdrop because I am bullish.
No, we won't.
uh,
Obviously, we won't.
uh,
You don't want to do it. But I just wanted to let you know how frustrated
I can
everybody
imagine,
got.
because you guys are the team and the people literally working night and day to make sure this vision becomes a reality. So I can only imagine, guys. But what I'll say is as well, I kind of saw how the distribution of the airdrop is going to be
Mhm.
done. Jordan, can you bring that up on the screen? And Bob, can you explain it a little bit just to show how you're trying to maintain the value of the solo token, right, through this airdrop? And also, I'm curious to know as well, I know this is a two-part question, but what do you expect us, the retail holder and the ecosystem for Sologenic, what do you expect us to contribute as far as the utility of the tokens are concerned?
Thanks for that question.
Mhm.
Uh, the Sologenic airdrop, there's only one snapshot and there's only one distribution, right? The
Mhm.
snapshot is going to happen on December 24th at 8 p.m. UTC time, right?
Mhm.
And in terms of Coreum, there are 13 snapshots. The very first snapshot it could be actually on the same day as the
Mhm.
snapshot of Solo, right? We don't tell, we just take a random snapshot. The first one is in the period of 24th of December to 31st of December 2021, which is like in few days. That's for the Coreum, right? And the second snapshot for Coreum is going to be random time, sometimes in January 2022. The first is distribution for Coreum
Mhm.
is going to be done as a IOU on XRP Ledger, and it's going to
Mhm.
happen in February 2022.
Okay.
However, the distribution for Solo is going to happen in January 2022.
Mhm.
And sorry if I do a lot of back and forth. I hope people they don't get confused. But
Perfect.
yes, there you go. That's basically the table I was looking for. So you can see, on right down the screen, you can see all the snapshots. There are 13 snapshots, right? And we just give you a period
Mhm.
of time when they're going to be taken, right? The first one is December 24th to 31st, 2021. And after that, we are going to take a random snapshot on monthly basis for a whole year, right? And in
Mhm.
terms of the distribution, February 2022 is the first one. February 22 basically is is the first one for the snapshot 1 and 2 together. And right after that, it's going to be a monthly distribution for Coreum to Solo holders.
Got it.
And obviously, the market is going to be open, right away in February on the XRP ledger on Sologenic DEX. And since this is a community-based project, I assume that many larger exchanges they would like to list it because there is no token sale or ICO involved in this, and we want to keep this as a 100% community-based. And we don't want to look at this as a business. We want to create this technology and let people to run it. We want developers to join and decide about the future of this technology.
Very nice. Now, a point that's you made was very important, and I'm briefly going to gloss over it just so people kind of understand. With me, what I understand about all these airdrops and this XRP ecosystem is that it is a very intelligent way that developers and teams have found to kind of be compliant with regulations. Am I correct? Because we see what's going on with XRP and the SEC right now. We see plenty of other tokens. They probably launched ICOs. They might be security, may not. I view airdrops as teams need to be able to be in compliance and have a massive ecosystem to get started with, right? So I think airdrops, the distribution of these tokens, are a way for you to get, well, not around, but get around the regulations and also be compliant and have the ecosystem to start with. Is that kind of why this is happening with the XRP ledger specifically?
Yeah. And there's something else, if you just allow me to discuss that very quickly. I've seen some comments, on Twitter that, Sologenic dumped 86 million Solo yesterday. So quickly, I just covered that. And they keep sending a screenshots from, I think it's called Lifecoin Watch, that is showing the circulating supply of Solo as 286 million or 287 million units currently, right? That has been around for a long time. That discrepancy on that specific website has been around for a long time. If you want to see the most accurate circulating supply, check in CoinMarketCap. We give them, we actually designed a specific API for CoinMarketCap so they can record the exact number of circulating supply, right? And think about the other side. There is only 200 million Solo circulating in the whole ecosystem right now, right? And so if yesterday we sold 86 million Solo, how the hell sorry my language.
No, trust me, I'm worse.
How are we going to cover the 200 million Solo airdrop?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like, the total supply is 400 million, right? How are we going to cover the 200 million Solo distribution if we have sold 86 million Solo yesterday? So these are just rumors.
Yes. Very nice. Excellent. Now, here's something I did want to get into as well, just a little bit. I saw on your roadmap while I was looking over your site that you have Sologenic debit cards on the way.
Yes.
What benefits can we expect from them? Is there going to be kind of like a tier system as far as like maybe there's like a silver or gold level as far as how many Solo you get? What can we expect from that? And also, what jurisdictions will allow these cards to exist? Because I know there's a lot of restrictions when you go to different countries and things like that.
Yeah, in terms of Solo cards, actually the API and the app, and the even the web app, they have been completed, a few months ago, and they're ready to go. They have been tested, and we're just ready to launch it. The only reason that we have not launched Solo cards yet, because originally when we used to own, that exchange, Coinfield, we wanted to launch this on their Coinfield company, because in order to process, in order to do the conversion between fiat to cryptocurrency, you need to work with an exchange API, right? That means that you have to work with a partner exchange in order to do the conversion, the real-time conversion, for your users. Right now that, that company was acquired, we are actually going to partner up with the legit exchange, tier one exchange. And most likely we're going to be working with, there are a few exchanges that they already offer the service, they already have the cards. So perhaps we are going to do some collaboration with them. But because from one side, we really don't want to get involved in custody of assets, we don't want to get involved in that aspect, right? But we want to offer the service, the solo card service to our community, right? This is going to happen, but most likely we're going to be doing some sort of collaboration, with tier one exchange next year in 2022 in order to launch it.
Very nice, very nice. That's important. Thank you so much for that. And now I kind of want to follow that question up with this monstrosity of a question. You guys have announced an NFT marketplace. We're all bullish on NFTs, and I'm especially bullish on the ones being built within the XRP ecosystem. We've seen the mania behind things like the Bored Apes on Ether, but these gas fees are a serious problem. I remember seeing a $100,000 Tether transaction cost $23 million. That's nonsense. So what I'm curious to know is how Sologenic is looking to solve this problem. What insights can you give us about this marketplace? And then I have one more question after you go about explaining it a little further. Yep.
The beauty of Sologenic NFT marketplace is that it has been built on top of the XRP ledger. XRP ledger is offering super fast and super cost efficient transactions, right? So that means that if all the transaction on Sologenic NFT marketplace are going to be the same transaction cost as the current XRP ledger fees, right? There only one additional cost attached to it, which is minimal. In order to mint any NFT, you need to burn specific amount of Solo. We had a poll, we had a voting on Twitter. So the community, they decided to keep that burning fee between 1 to 5 Solos, right? We haven't really put that, but our idea is to make this as cost efficient as possible, so we get more user engagement. We want more artists, more creators to come on Sologenic NFT marketplace and create as many NFTs as possible, right? We don't want to make it too expensive for them, so they cannot use the system the way that they would like.
And now, when it comes to the marketplace, do you envision XRP specific NFTs being sold on there, right?
Yes.
Or will there also be the opportunity for other ecosystems NFTs to be sold on there, or does that not exist yet?
So actually, from one side we have an XRP NFT creators are ready, right? That they are creating their own NFTs and they're actually selling it, on the current Sologenic DEX, in other ways, right? So those group of creators, NFT, they're going to be using the system. So, but at the same time, we are promoting this. We are going to promoting this, to other community members, right? So, other creators from Ethereum network, for example, they understand that they can save a lot, by minting on Sologenic and XRP Ledger NFT marketplace. So definitely we are going to do that. And as a matter of fact, the team here, we usually receive, a lot of emails on daily basis from different creators and artists that they would like to participate, and they are asking, hey, when the NFT marketplace is going to be live, right? Which is very cool. And I think it's going to be very sorry. It's going to be a great launch, and the network is going to get busier than what it is today.
Without a doubt. I love hearing that. Now, I'm just gonna ask you a personal question, Bob, because I'm curious.
Sure.
What XRP NFTs are you looking at as having excellent potential in the future?
I'd be very frank with you. I haven't really had a lot of time to look into the specific creators or artists on the XRP network, but I'm a big fan of arts, right? If you come, right now we are in our North American office. You see behind me, I love arts, right?
Yes, yes.
If you go around the office, you see a lot of arts everywhere, right? And I have a few artists that they shared their NFTs, and I'm probably gonna buy one of those NFTs as soon as the system is launched. But we do have a lot of great NFT creators on the XRP ledger, and which I think they're going to take the most benefit from the Sologenic NFT marketplace when it's launched.
Yes, very nice, very nice. Now, something that I'm curious about is the longevity of this project. Now we discussed the utility of the token, the marketplace, the debit cards. You're looking to be compliant and things like that. Me, whenever I invest in a project or ecosystem, I ask myself, what can this do in 2 to 5 years? And most of my audience is curious to know this as well. What I want to know is, what is the long-term expectation of what you see Solo doing in the next 2 to 5 years, and how they can navigate reaching projected goals with so much regulatory uncertainty?
So I think Sologenic is very creative, right? And we move with the technology. We don't want to get stuck with the old rusted technology, right? So if we are, for example, right now we are doing tokenized assets, we move to NFT marketplace because that's something that the community wants. It's a new technology. Right now we just announced Coreum blockchain, which is a super modern layer 1 blockchain, right? And I'm sure within the next few years you're going to be seeing a lot of new ideas and disruptions in the technology space that are going to be supported and developed by Sologenic team. From my personal side, I love metaverse, and actually Coreum, one of the features of the Coreum blockchain is purely designed for metaverse. And so let's see what's going to happen. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe Sologenic use Coreum blockchain and get into metaverse very soon.
Very nice. Now, something I'm very curious to know about is, you said you like the metaverse, right? I'm beginning to truly dive as deep as possible into the metaverse as well. Do you see Solo integrating with the metaverse in some way, shape, or form? And for some people that may not really know what it is and what's coming, can you just explain what you foresee coming down the road?
Yeah, obviously metaverse is a very new technology and concept, right? And I think that it provides limitless opportunities. There are many ideas that they have not been implemented, in metaverse world right now. And as I said, there is no limit, right? But right now at this moment, the team, they haven't really decided on our next move into the metaverse. So I cannot really answer that question, but from my personal side, I have a few ideas, very cool, that they're not really related to Sologenic or financials, right? But I just love them, because I think they're very cool when it comes to metaverse. For example, what if we just create some global major university, right? Virtual university that we allow some remote countries to get better educations, right? If we do that, a few years from now, let's say 10 years from now, we actually increase the level of education globally, right? Like that's going to help everyone. That's one of the cool idea that I always thought about it. Or the other one is, what if you can just go shopping? You want to buy a car, you want to buy, I don't know, jewelry or a book. You just put it on, on your eyes. You just go there, test drive the car, actually feel, the product that you want to buy, purchase, and then you just come back. You just take it off, and the product are being shipped to you, are being delivered to your door. These
Very
are very
nice.
cool.
Very nice. Now, something I'm very curious about as well is, will solo staking be a possibility this year? I may be poking a little too deep here, Bob, but let's see what happens. Will solo holders be able to stake their tokens while receiving the core airdrops as well, the Coreum airdrops?
Yeah, staking, Coinfield, the previous exchange that we used to own, they used to offer solo staking, and obviously it was a centralized staking, right? It wasn't decentralized or DeFi. And the reason that we couldn't launch a decentralized staking program, because XRP Ledger does not support, that feature does not support a smart contract. So right now, with the Coreum being launched, definitely we are going to have staking. We are going to offer staking for solo. And as a matter of fact, perhaps everyone knows that Binance, we had a long discussion with Binance. And they're going to, first of all, they're going to support the airdrop. We have some other discussion with some collaboration that we want to be doing with them. So one of the cool collaboration that we haven't really announced it, but this is not a secret, so I just mention it here. So we're going to do some collaboration with Binance. We're going to be taking some Sologenic solo tokens on Binance Smart Chain very soon, maybe in January. So that brings more opportunity for solo holders on Binance Smart Chain to take advantage of. For example, you can do farming, and you can do staking, on Binance Chain right away.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Very nice. And that's very important. A lot of people were curious about that. Bob, I think this may very be the last question, and we'll call it a day. Is Sologenic going after tokenized assets and the stock markets around the world, or is it just specific to certain jurisdictions?
In terms of offering the portfolio from specific exchanges, we work with Saxo Bank, and Saxo Bank is connected with 30 global stock exchanges, right? From pretty much from all over the world, right? And so in terms of which jurisdiction we are going to offer the service, but I think I covered that, but quickly, right now we do a lot of back and forth with the, regulatory bodies in EU. The way that we are going to tackle this, most likely we are going to just acquire a company outside of EU, right? That's option number one, and offer a pilot program. So we launch it, for example, for only Asian countries and Latin America, because there is no regulatory issue with that. And then once the regulators, they feel more comfortable, they see the actual real product working, they see there's nothing wrong. Once they we get their license, we just offer it inside the EU. So that's one way. The other way is we may want to partner up with a US broker dealer inside the US, possibly in New York, in East Side, and offer the service maybe in US right off the bat.
New York. That's big. If you can get it done in New York, that is the most sustainable, incredible thing that could possibly be done. And
2022, it's gonna be a super busy and exciting year for everyone.
I couldn't agree more. We see this year wrapping up, and finally more momentum is going into the crypto space with regulation and more utility, and all eyes are on this space, NFTs, the metaverse, etc. And to you and your team at Sologenic, guys, I want to say thank you for all the developments that you guys have done. Thank you for blessing this XRP community with these tokens, and then another airdrop on top of our blessed airdrop already. I hope this cleared up any confusion for anyone that may have not understood what happened yesterday, but in my personal opinion, I'm bullish on the project. I'm looking to hold a good portion of my tokens into the future. And dude, I want to talk to you into the future because I like what you guys are doing, without a doubt.
I appreciate it, and thank you very much for providing this opportunity. I think it was a great timing, and
Yes.
it was a pleasure talking with yourself and also Jordan. And I hope that we can just have another session very soon, maybe in 2022.
Without a doubt, Bob. And Fabio, thank you so much for being here as well. I'm sure everyone
Thanks
in
to
the
you.
audience and everyone in the audience, I'm sure everyone really appreciated it too. And we'll talk again soon, my brother. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate it.
Bye, Jordan.
Keep killing
Bye.
it.